The constant hum of seeking approval is a deafening noise. It drowns out the inner voice, dilutes purpose, and leaves a man hollow. For years, many have mistaken this hollow echo for acceptance. They barter their authenticity for fleeting nods, their deepest convictions for shallow praise. The cost is steep, paid in the currency of their own potential. The modern world is a relentless marketplace of opinions, a theater of performance where worth is measured by likes, shares, and applause. Men are conditioned from boyhood to seek the approval of fathers, peers, women, and society at large. This external gaze becomes a prison, its bars forged from imagined judgments and anxieties. A man caught in this cycle expends an immense reservoir of energy, not on building his own kingdom, but on currying favor within others. He shapes his words, his actions, even his thoughts, to fit the mold expected by those around him. This is a slow, insidious form of self-betrayal. The truly profound discoveries a man makes are often born in silence, away from the cacophony of external judgment. When he finally ceases this exhausting chase, a new landscape begins to unfurl within him. It is a place of quiet clarity, where the static of opinions fades, and his own internal compass begins to guide him. This is where true freedom resides. It is not about becoming indifferent, but about discerning which voices merit his attention. Most of the noise is just that, noise. The pursuit of approval is a mirage, promising connection but delivering isolation. It is a hunger that can never be truly satisfied because its source is external and therefore uncontrollable. A man who stops seeking approval is not necessarily an island, but he is no longer adrift. He sets his own course, guided by principles he has tested and affirmed within himself. He learns to distinguish between constructive feedback and the idle chatter of the uninvested. The sheer amount of mental and emotional bandwidth freed up by this decision is staggering. This energy can then be reinvested into growth, mastery, and the creation of something meaningful. Think of the soldier on the battlefield, his focus not on the cheers of distant crowds, but on the immediate task, the protection of his brothers, the objective. His worth is not in their praise, but in his disciplined execution. Or consider the master craftsman, his hands shaping wood or metal with unwavering concentration, his satisfaction derived from the integrity of the work itself, not the applause of onlookers. The internal shift is palpable. A man who no longer needs external validation can speak with a new authority, not of arrogance, but of settled conviction. His actions align with his values, not with the shifting sands of public opinion. He becomes less susceptible to manipulation, less prone to the whims of the crowd. This is not a sudden dramatic event for most. It is a gradual shedding, a series of small, conscious choices. Each time a man resists the urge to say what he thinks others want to hear, each time he prioritizes his own conviction over the fear of disapproval, he strengthens this newfound resolve. He begins to understand the words of Epictetus. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. The views he held about what others thought of him were the true chains. Releasing those views is liberation. The fear of not being liked, not being accepted, is a powerful motivator. It drives men to compromise their integrity, to stifle their true desires, to live lives that are pale imitations of what could be. But what is the true cost of this sought-after acceptance? It is the erosion of self-respect, the dimming of one's own inner light. It is the quiet despair of a life lived in service to the expectations of others. The alternative is not solitude, but self-possession. It is building an inner fortress of integrity that requires no external guards. It is understanding that, while connection is vital, true connection stems from authenticity, not performance. A man who has stopped chasing approval does not necessarily become louder or more defiant. Often, he becomes quieter, more deliberate. His strength is not in assertion, but in presence. He radiates a calm certainty that draws people in, not because he panned others, but because he is wholly himself. He understands that the only approval that truly matters is the one he grants himself, earned through living according to his own deeply held principles. This internal alignment is the foundation of true masculine power. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows his own mind and trusts his own judgment. The approval he seeks is no longer from the outside, but from the man he sees in the mirror, a man who lives with integrity, courage, and purpose. He recognizes that the opinions of others are transient, like clouds passing in the sky. His own internal compass, however, is immutable. This shift allows for a depth of character and a resilience that external validation can never provide. He becomes impervious to the storms of criticism and unwavering in his pursuit of meaningful goals. He learns that the opinions of men are like leaves on a tree, rustling in the wind, while his own core values are the roots, anchoring him firmly to the earth. The process of unlearning the habit of seeking approval is challenging. It requires constant vigilance, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about oneself and one's motivations. It means recognizing the subtle ways in which this habit manifests, from agreeing too readily to changing one's appearance or interests to impress others. But the reward is a life lived on one's own terms, a life of genuine substance and profound self-respect. He learns that the most valuable opinions are those formed through rigorous self-examination and lived experience. His own. The chase for external validation is a treadmill, offering the illusion of progress while keeping a man trapped in the same place. Breaking free means stepping off that treadmill and setting his own path, however difficult it may initially seem. The silence that follows the cessation of this chase is not empty, but full. It is filled with the potential of self-discovery, the quiet hum of inner strength, and the profound satisfaction of living authentically. He no longer needs to perform. He simply needs to be. And in that being, he finds a power far greater than any applause. This is the man who has found his true north. His journey inward has yielded riches far beyond any external gain. He is no longer a puppet dancing to the tune of others' expectations, but the conductor of his own life's symphony. His worth is not borrowed, it is inherent. He has become the master of his own domain, his internal kingdom secure and sovereign. The approval he sought from the world was always within his grasp, waiting to be recognized. He learned that the opinions of men are like fleeting shadows, while the judgment of one's own character is the eternal light. The greatest freedom is not the absence of chains, but the knowledge that you held the key all along. The silence that follows the chase is where true strength is forged.